Mr President.
The Honourable Shane Mallard.
No polls.
We love coal.
No lights.
Polls.
It's not a theological question.
Mr President, 3 years ago this week, Ned Mannoun, a young father, woke up in hospital having had a successful transplant of one of his kidneys to his gravely ill son. His generous, loving gift saved his son's life and changed the incredibly stressful world for his family and his wife for the better. And I'd like to think that all of us here would be so generous to save a life. At the same time, Ned, as the Mayor of Liverpool, pushed through the naming of an urban waterway called Dijon Lake in honour of a young local man tragically killed on a holiday overseas 5 years earlier. Dijon's family, in an act of great generosity at a time of unbearable grief, donated his organs for transplant. Ned, as an ambassador for organ donation, was aware that donation rates were too low in the migrant communities of Western Sydney. This honour for the family was also designed to promote organ donation. And as Health Minister Gillian Skinner dedicated the lake in front of a large and emotional crowd, of which I was one of them, of family and friends, we would later find out that the man who received Dijon's heart was present, having travelled from Greece to be at the dedication. You see, Mr President, this is the nature of Ned Mannoun, the former Mayor of Liverpool City Council. What has motivated me to speak about Ned tonight was the award this week by the Western Sydney University of an honorary fellowship to Ned, alongside other honorary awards for Lucy Turnbull AO, Dr Tim Williams and Professor Janus Notney. And in awarding Ned his honorary fellowship, Western Sydney University Vice-Chancellor Professor Barney Glover said the recipients had a desire to bring positive change to their community, particularly to the development of Greater Western Sydney. This significant honour ends a difficult 2 years for Ned, his family and his supporters. Members will recall the attack upon Ned's honesty in this chamber in an adjournment speech on September 10, 2015. This was only weeks after the Prime Minister had singled Ned out as an election eve National Press Club address as a community leader and worthy candidate for Federal Parliament in his candidacy for the seat of Werriwa. It is not my intention to canvass the motives or actions of a fellow parliamentarian, but only to note that Ned vehemently denied the allegations and welcomed a subsequent ICAC investigation. I had no doubt, having worked with Ned in the past and come to appreciate his integrity and character, that the allegations were without foundation. However, I will note that it is regrettable that Ned's father was dragged into this controversy and as a result has left Australia. It's a regret that he has seen the darker side of politics in Australia. Allegations against individuals made under parliamentary privilege should be carefully considered. I say that as I myself was subject to 2 such attacks by a former Greens member of this House, and that caused significant disruption and anxiety for myself and my family, and after 1 year and 3 inquiries, I was also fully cleared. So in June 2017, a long 21 months later after the allegations, the ICAC announced that they had found no evidence to support the allegations against Ned Mannoun and ended its investigation, clearing Ned. I also note that News Limited, who repeated the allegations in the Daily Telegraph, have also recently settled a defamation case in Ned's favour. Ned Mannoun did not recontest his position as Mayor, considering the difficulties he was dealing with, and decided to spend more time with his young family and a new career which is flourishing. When reflecting upon his legacy as Mayor of Liverpool, he told the Liverpool leader his ambition had always been to quote, create a positive vision for Liverpool. He said, "We tried to seize the day and seize the term, and I think we did that." And I note his colleagues on that journey at the time were Councillors Tony Chitty, Mazar Hadid and Gus Balut, all law friends. As to the future, Ned and a return to politics, he said, I quote, "I've checked out of the lunatic asylum and I'm not keen to check back in." And I'm hoping that was tongue-in-cheek, because the Liberal Party, Western Sydney, this state and indeed the country needs community leaders of Ned Mannoun's ability and integrity. So Mr President, again I conclude by congratulating Ned Mannoun on his honorary fellowship from the Western Sydney University, and I wish Ned, his wife Tina and their boys Solomon and Jacob all the very best for the many good years ahead.